Supercoach 360.
Supercoach 360.
Animation. Supercoach 360 podcast.
Burgs, so you wanted to talk about, you did a little piece this week on Teddy and Turbo, and what's the conundrum there? Pretty much, there's no viable cheapies left. If you started with Turbo and a cheapie in that position, there's not really many options left there.
No, well,
Do you have to sell Turbo this week, Burgs?
No, but in that same breath, if your team's in dire straits, I can say yeah. You know, as long as you've got a Sloan or someone that you can plug the hole with instead of just selling someone who's... and you're going to have to use your boost most likely as well. Because selling a player that's actually playing this week is going to be hard if you've got a lot of injuries. But I got a message on the weekend. I won't divulge names because they may not want their full team divulged. But they messaged me saying I've got Turbo, but the rest of my team's a bit up to shit. I've been struck with injuries and rah-rah. I said, well, if your team's still going to pump out a 900 or close to 1,000, you remain competitive. You know what I mean? You can stay up there. But if you're going to drop down to an 800 score, say, I think you might have to bite the bullet and use the money. It's one of those things. You bought him in. I think in your head you would have had to have known playing the grand finalists, he wasn't going to turn up. We all assumed the Roosters were going to do a number on Newcastle, and we assumed that Roosters were going to come out with a bang. Didn't look that great on the weekend, so you can't assure the win this week. Like last week, I was pretty much assuring the win to the Roosters, before a ball was kicked. Now that I've seen the Roosters play, I'm not so sold on them beating Manly the way I thought they were going to. So Turbo is now a chance of probably pulling a ton in that game. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? And then when he plays the Dogs, he's a definite chance of $1.50 after the shit they put up on Sunday. So he's going to repay the faith. It's a matter of whether or not your rest of your team can handle you making that decision to start with him or not. Do you see any merit in holding or selling if you have or haven't got?
I can see the merit in selling and holding, definitely. Yeah. You started with him for a reason, obviously.
Well, you know he's going to get the points.
To sell him, I can see the merit in that too. If you're selling him and downgrading to a puppy or a teddy, who I don't think you're going to be that far behind him, you're upgrading two other positions by 20, 30 points a position, and 60 points, 50 points in total. Well, then, yeah, I can see the upside in it, but... Big call to pull the trigger on selling Turbo after round one.
Well, it is, but I think it's the money factor because I wrote it down here. Like Turbo 1.26 million for a 62, Teddy 760,000 for 32, Paps 694,000 for a 71, Sloan 447,000 for a 78. Won't score tries every week, but like we said.
Well, then you've got Troll coming back this week too, 721,000, who only 2% ownership. So if Puppy and Teddy don't fire and Troll does, you could get a leg up.
Could be the good shout. Edwards as well shined at 491 for 72, and Hines with a 70. Oh, he got a 77. Edwards, sorry, and Hines at 685. Now I see the merit. If you're doing the math on the points there. Turbo may not get a ton this week, but when you put the math next to the Dogs the week after, where you just assume he's going to go nuts.
But you can't assume.
I can. I watched the Dogs play. I watched a little bit of the Dogs play on the weekend. It was terrible.
Yeah, but you still can't assume. Manly's attack wasn't that great. Golden Panthers' defence was awesome, but you can't assume this early in the season. You don't know how it's going to play out yet. I don't think.
So if you're going to downgrade a Turbo, would you go for the cheaper option of a Sloan or an Edwards, or would you plug the hole with the multi-talented Hines? Or, like you said yourself, if he's going to run 14 times a game, kick goals, and he could nearly outdo some of the fullbacks, or at least stick it with the big boys.
Yeah, definitely.
So... He's a watch for me, Nico. I'm a very big fan of Nico.
I've seen a few people with Nico in at fullback. It surprised me, but...
Well, it's not stupid because It's easy naif money as well if he goes well. You know,
Not if you got him a fullback.
no, you sell him, but
Yeah, but all the fullbacks cost the same amount.
yeah, but you just swap him around. Bang, you should have duels everywhere, boys. I can move just about
Yeah,
anyone.
he's the only dual half-back, fullback.
Yeah, well, even if you kept him, you could easily keep him as that other premiums half. You know what I mean? With a naif, if you can afford to get a naif another way.
Supercoach 360 podcast.